Aloha, it's Matthew, and I have an all seasons plate video for you. I tried to get all the polishes that I plan to use in the frame, but here, let's see if I can. Yeah, there's a handful. Okay, let's go back into normal. Okay, so the plate that I want to highlight is M446, and it's their Shibori plate. Okay, so let me just move that out of the way because we are going to have to put down a paper towel. All right, so on the nail rack, I've got Orly white tips as the base for this one. And then on this nail, I've got, I just call it Free Kit Blue. It's the blue that came in the very first kit that I got from Maniology. And I keep it more because of this one. It came with the blue, but then it also came with smudge-free top coat. But I use this one whenever I've got like a glitter or a powder on my design. That way I don't get powders and glitters in my main smudge-free top coat. But also I figured I might as well get some use out of that free kit blue. Let's move that back out of the way. Okay, so on the third nail, we've got Perfect B473. And on the fourth nail, we've got Hot Take and Royalty Blue from Hollow Taco. And I kind of did a gradient, but since it was on the clear nail tip, it kept pulling up the sponging. So I just painted it on pretty heavily and then applied a gradient over top. And so there is a kind of a sharp line for a true gradient, but you'll get the idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we've got SE Willow in the Wind down here. And let's get started. This first one is going to take the longest. I have all of these Mooncat polishes are going to go, you'll see. You'll see here. Stay tuned. So let's grab a paper towel. And I'm just going to put this down. It just makes cleanup easier. If you're only doing a couple nails, you can always scrape right onto like a silicone mat. And then once the polish dries, you can use a lint roller to pick it right up easily. But I'm doing several nails, and I don't want to put my hand in wet polish on the mat before it has a chance to dry. So just easier to use a paper towel. Okay, and then back in with the plate. This is M446. And it's called Shibori, which is of Japanese origin, and it's what we would call tie-dye, except it's much more patterned, and there's like, well, I mean, I guess tie-dye does have some specific ways of tying to make specific patterns. This one, there were let's see how many times I can say specific. There were unique ways of tying in a precise pattern to get the exact design you want. And typically, it was made with like white cotton or linen, not cotton, linen or other fabrics, and then dyed with indigo. So oftentimes they were blue. That's where this nail is going to come in. For this first nail, though, it's going to take a minute because we are going to do a little reverse painting. Let's pick up the design first. So what I want is this one here on the corner, and I'm going to be using, bam, white, and then I'm going to paint in the gaps in between. And okay. So let's scrape it. And then I'm going to pick it up. Perfect. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. We're off to a great start, you guys. So now I realized that some of these lines are very close together. So a detail brush is in order. Let's do this so you guys can see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so I've got my little heart here. I'm just going to keep it off to the side. You guys don't really need to see it. It's got acetone in it so that I can clean off my detail brush in between each color. And let's put some little palette right there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in so you can watch. Yeah, like that. I think that'll give you guys, if I don't move it, then you guys can see it. Okay, so this is from, oh, I don't remember the name of the collection, but it's a bunch of Mooncat creams. And what I'm going to do first is go all along the edge. Yeah, just nice and blop it on. That's why I was thinking this might take a minute to dry. And hopefully it doesn't get too lumpy, but top coat covers a multitude of sins. Why is that moving away? I think it's just so I'm trying to. Did I get oil on my stamper, or is it just that I put so much on there it doesn't know what to do? I don't know what's going on over here, but we don't want that to be happening. And so with this one, you can paint on top of the white because the white is going to cover up your edges. It doesn't have to be like right precisely up to the white. Do you get what I'm saying? You can overcolor ever so slightly like that. And I am going to go a little bit fast here because I don't want you guys to get bored. Let's keep that in screen. I don't want you guys to get bored. Okay, so next color we've got is acidic, and it is an orange. Let's see if I can put just a little bit less down this time. But I'm going to use the brush again, I think. I think that was a really good way to go for the start, to just get the majority of it down. I'm going to put a little blob out here that I can work with. And hopefully this one doesn't start separating. Okay. Just trying to get it into those little cracks. And honestly, it doesn't truly matter if a little bit doesn't get covered, because that's why I did the white base. That's going to cover my bases so that when I stamp it, if there's the tiniest little hole anywhere, it's just going to look like that white that I put down originally. Thinking ahead here. Or if you wanted to do a different separating color, like you could do a black or silver, then what I would do is do the same, whatever polish you do the stamp in, do your base in. That makes sense. I am doing like ultra concentration right now. Okay, this is coming right along, you guys. Just going to kind of pat that down a little bit. I don't want it to be so lumpy, but hopefully it'll dry down. I'm this brush application and then the tiniest bit of spreading from my detail brush seems to be working. So I'm gonna stop with the palette. Okay, and if you notice, this is a really long nail. So I went extra wide on that side, and then I'm going to go extra wide on this side, which is going to make sure, I think we're still going to get it. Yeah, it's going to make sure that the ends get covered. It'll work. It's going to be great. If it doesn't go quite to the edges, then we can just imagine that it does. That nail tip is a 00, which is super wide. If you're not familiar, most kits don't even come with 00s because it is such a wide nail. And here I'm patting, and when I get with my detail brush, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm not dragging anywhere, I'm tapping, patting, and that's how I'm spreading it out. There we go. You do need to move quickly because you don't want it to start getting tacky like it did right there at the end. I'm going to drop just the tiniest little bit of green here on the end, like that. Okay. And I think I set my colors up to be in the right order. Yep. Okay. Roy, G. And then we got blue. And I didn't have enough spaces with the stamp to do an indigo and then a violet. But I don't think anybody's going to snatch up your fingers and say, wait a minute, what happened to indigo? That just won't happen, you guys. Okay. All right. This is coming together. Except why is that happening? Oh no. I started to pick up the white right there because it's super thin. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right there. And then I'm coming in with purple. And then we'll set that aside and let it dry. And this is going to be more kind of like what you might think of as like Western style tie-dyeing, because oftentimes the colors are much brighter when you think tie-dye versus traditional shibori. Although when I Googled it last night, there were some fantastic shibori. There's a bunch of different kind that's like, there's stitched shibori. Oh yeah, okay, that worked out perfect. And then those little holes, it's not going to matter because we're putting it over a white nail. And we got a little bit of orange in the red over here, but maybe we'll put that on the tip end and hopefully no one will see it. Okay, so let's just set that aside to dry. Okay, and zoom out a little bit and go on to the next nail. Okay, so for the next one, I am doing more of a what would be considered a traditional shibori look. And I had a list. So number 2 is going to be bottom row, 5th. This one, ooh, yeah, because that one looks really cool. And I'm going to do the stamping in cornflower, B417. Okay, let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Let's get a second stamper going here. There we go. So a couple people have asked about my, have I heard back from the job interview at Petco? And not yet. They, things just move really slowly here. There's a much slower pace to life. I interviewed on Thursday, and he's like, yeah, okay, we'll have an answer for you by Wednesday. He did have to talk to the other supervisor who does the initial interview intakes. But I had a good feeling, you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of the stuff we don't want, which on nail tips doesn't matter as much, but I just like to be in the good habit of doing that. And then let's go here. And it is a little bit shy again on this nail. It's a very large tip. I'm just going to use what's left on my stamper to fill in the blanks. Just like that. Well, I don't have any more for this very far end, but we'll just keep it upright. And when we go in to look at the details, nobody look at the far left end. But again, if that bugged you, or if you do have a super wide nail, this is another one of those plates where it's good for beginners, and it's good for making that up because the design is, here, let's just zoom in real quick so I can comment on it. The design is not symmetric, right? So over here on this edge where I missed, you could just pick up the stamp again and just fill in that blank with some of the other, like none of this, see, like, I'm pointing at stuff off screen. This tip was not painted, but I just used what was on my stamper. All of that was not painted, and neither was this edge over here, but I added that from what was on my stamper. So you can fudge it a little. Just occurred to me, I didn't say what's on my fingers. This is still the last manicure I did yesterday, day before. I just like it so much I didn't want to take it off. It's the base is Mooncat, the sea between us, and then I used pewter stamping polish to do this big jellyfish and these little wee baby jellyfish, and then I used Kraken to do the Kraken tentacles. And I really liked it, so I kept it on. Typically I try and do a manicure that goes with the video that I'm doing, but here we are. Okay, so perfect right here. I figured, so the idea behind these all season plates is that I'm trying to show you that these ones are so versatile. So I looked up holidays in June, and June 4th is National Hug Your Cat Day. Whatever. So if you missed it and you didn't hug your cat on June 4th, I think that they won't know what the calendar day is, so you could probably go back and take care of that right now if you need to. Well, not right now. Finish the video, and then you can go hug your cat. But this idea, I thought, looked kind of like a tabby, or at least that striped design. You know, it doesn't have to be orange. It could be, you know, I've seen black cats and brown cats that have like lighter colored bands of stripes on them. And so this design is to celebrate the National Hug Your Cat Day. Oh no, I did it wrong. Okay, lesson to point out. When you have big gaps like that, it's best to scrape in the direction that is least likely to let your card dip into those big gaps, if that makes sense. So I should be scraping this way, because when I put my card over the tip, these little tiny bits are hopefully going to keep the card from dipping in and biting out the extra polish like it did when I scraped just now. So here we go. I almost turned my plate again. Tabby stripes, take 2. I am going to scrape it this way because I plan to use that one. Okay, so tabby stripes, and I figured if you've got a brown cat with brown stripes, you could do that on here, or if you've got like a cream colored cat with brown stripes, or whatever combination you have, if you have a cat. We've got there we go. Yeah. Okay. And so, again, if you didn't quite get a good pickup, there are a couple little patchy bits. This is supposed to be cat fur. So we're going to go on that premise and not worry about it. And over here, I am just going to fill in the tip. Okay. So again, these are really wide nail tips, mainly so you guys can see the design. So on these edges, if it bugs you, you could use your detail brush to continue it, or you could pick up your stamp again and get those edges. But honestly, I think it's going to be fine. And most people are not going to have nails that have that much width and curve to them. Most people. Okay, so we're on to now. This holiday doesn't fall within June, but we are approaching 4th of July. If you didn't see this one coming, so America, we got red, blue, and we need some bam white, which I'm going to do this one here on the corner with. And the reason I did this one is because right across here, there's a lot of pattern. So I'm hoping that it'll kind of hide the line, the gradient line. Okay, so we got plenty of polish down. Okay, and then we're gonna go right across. And then again, if you want to get that tip, just use what's on your stamper, like that. Okay, that's fun. That would turn out really cute. Okay, and so then I think you guys have figured out that I prefer a nice neutral nail, as I have these shiny blue ones. I do like grays and olives and browns. That's new to me. I didn't think I would like browns, but this last fall, when I got the Orly, the Don't Be Suspicious, I think is that brown. It's like a deep chocolate brown, and I did that as a full manicure, and I just loved how it turned out. So we got Willow in the Wind here as the base, and then we're going to stamp on it with S'more B479. This came in a Manny by Me kit. It is a metallic brown. So far I've only used creme polishes, and I figured I wanted to make sure you guys knew that it doesn't have to be just creme. You can spice it up a little. And this one I wanted to do this one. Let me just my plate's getting a little dusty there, so let me give it one more wipe here with some acetone, just so we get a nice clean pickup. Okay. And this one kind of reminded me, I know it's like almost like a spiral, but it kind of reminded me like a bird's eye view of a forest. And so I picked nature colors, neutrals, brown and green. If you guys are liking my videos, feel free to like them and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I would truly appreciate it. And if you didn't know, I am a Maniology ambassador. And if you use the code Matthew10 at checkout, oh no, MATTHEW10, that saves you guys 10%, and Maniology will send me a small commission and I'll use that money to support the channel. Because I am on a low buy, no buy right now. If you haven't been following. So here we go with our, oh yeah, that's just gorgeous, you guys. And there we go. And like I said, for this plate, it's great for like a beginner because if you mess up any of these stamps, they're already so they're not exact. They're not precise stamps, so it doesn't matter. No one's gonna be able to tell. So on the reverse stamped one, still trying to figure out. My original plan was to make the other colors extra long, but I think I'm going to go diagonal, you guys. I'm hoping diagonal will work. So here's hoping. So let's just clear away some space so I can concentrate here. Okay. This is a dry nail. I painted it last night, and hopefully this is dry polish. So I'm going to hit this nail with a coat of Orly Bonder base. Maniology does sell their sticky base coat, which in this function they serve the same purpose. I just have a bunch of Bonder to work through before I buy anything else. So you want to let your whatever sticky base coat you choose, you want to let it sit for about 30 to 45 seconds, depending on where you are. And I think we're gonna go. Well, I think we're gonna. I think I'm gonna risk the diagonal. I think it'll look really cool if we go on a diagonal. They were talking about when I was researching Shibori. There's this really cool one where they wrap fabric on a diagonal around a wooden pole and then squish it down, and that particular type is always done on the diagonal. So let's see if we can get something to look like that. It's really hard to because I can't see through the stamp, so I'm just going on what I hope is going to work out. Here we go. I think it's happening, you guys. I think it's working. All right. Oh, that's so great. That's fantastic. So I'm just gonna yank gently on that. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, you guys, it turned out. So if you wanted to come back with a little bit of the red, or that white looks fine right there too, and so does the white on the purple because the white in between everything. Or if you wanted to hit that little dot of, let's just do it. Let's just hit that little dot of purple. And then I'm going to hit this one with a smudge-free top coat. So you just fill in the gap. You missed the little dot on that corner, no big deal. And then on this corner, no big deal. Oh, wow, you guys. Oh, no. No, I don't think my nails are long enough to do. I was thinking maybe I would do that for my pride look, but I don't think my nails, see, none of my nails, even on my long nail hand, are as long as these tips. Oh, that's great, you guys. Okay, so let's hit it with some smudge-free top coat. I hope that those two that I added on are not gonna, they haven't had any chance to dry, really. Well, what I wanted to do was, because there's a little bit of wrinkling, and so what I wanted to do was hit it with this smudge-free top coat, because you guys, top coat can save a lot. If you do a stamp and it doesn't quite turn out exactly how you liked it, don't fret. Try hitting it with the top coat. Oh yeah, and smoothing it out. Yep. And I would highly recommend using a smudge-free top coat, because if you spent all that time doing the work and then you come back and smudge at the final step, let me tell you, the disappointment is real. Okay, so let's take a look at these nails, you guys. Let's zoom in and see what we did. Okay. All right, I am thrilled about how that rainbow turned out. Okay. Um, okay, so here is the rainbow. And I was saying that in the middle it was a little wrinkly, but then when I hit it with the top coat, it all smoothed out just fine. Just fine. And then once I put my smudge-free top coat on, I let that dry for about 5 minutes, and I hit it with a quick dry top coat, because that's going to lock in your whole manicure, cure everything below, and you're going to be good to go. So then we've got the traditional-ish Shibori. I think that my stamping color could have been even lighter, because typically it looks like blue and very, very light blue, but still like it. We've got the tabby cat here. We got striped kitty cat and America. And then the final forestry. Oh, it just occurred to me I did the same stamp on both of those. But there you go. You can see it's done in different. It looks different when you do it with a metallic. And that one was, I was intending to make it look like a bird's eye view of a forest, like trees and ground. Um, you know, artistic interpretation. So there we go. That's what I got for you today, guys. Until next time, bye.